Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop. Hello, person. We have one person waiting. Sorry, I was a bit late getting things sorted out today. Couple of things happened. First of all, my computer decided to play silly buggers. It decided it had done an update, but then it needed to do something about the update, even though it turned itself off on its own after it finished doing the update. And it took forever to fire up. And I was also a bit late because I'm looking after the next door neighbour's cats this week. So first time feeding them, which took a bit of reading through the instructions when there are 5 cats to look after and they all have different things. But hey, it'd be I'd hate to be them having to look after my fish tanks. Yeah, can you imagine that list of written instructions? I'd have to pin something to each tank. Yeah, that'd be fun. Because they all get fed different things, different days. Yeah, that'd be real interesting. Yeah, good job I'm not going on holiday anytime soon, really, isn't it? Anyway, so welcome to the show. Happy Father's Day to any dads that do happen to turn up. If they've managed to escape from the predations of their family, trying to make sure they have a good day. I'm sure some will understand where I'm coming from with that one. You know, it's your birthday, you have to have fun. We're going to do this and this and this and this. And you're going, all I want to do is just go to bloody bed. I just want to have a nap or have an early night or have a quiet day. No, you've got to go out and do stuff. Anyway, slightly up. Well, I don't know. We're going to start off on a bit of a downer. Hello, Jess, lurking away. Hello, lovely Marit. So, Soxy and lovely. Bloody computer. Yes, I know there's a memory card plugged into you. That doesn't mean you have to tell me every 5 seconds. Go away. No, you don't have a memory card plugged into you. So as people are gradually turning up, so a bit late because computer playing silly buggers, feeding all the cats, getting a fuss off of a couple, so that was always good. Hopefully by the end of the week they will all view me as a friend. Yeah, hey, 6 days a week, that's the only pussy I'm going to get. Right. Oh God, now bloody computer's telling me that. Why does it have to tell you something about 3,000 times when you've already clicked? Yeah, I know. You don't need to do that. Right. So, what hath been occurring in the fish room? Yes. Week started out not too well. Yeah, lots of light glare on the tank behind me. So if I put the light on in front of me, it might even things out a bit. Because it helps if you open the door far enough for the light to shine out. Right, there we go. Right, so, well, I mean, this week we've had much better weather than we have of late in the UK. It's been nice and cool and wet. Or damp or moist. No, definitely wet. Been far more than moist. Monday and Tuesday were pretty nasty, but since then it's been far better. About 10 degrees cooler and wet and dark. Sharpie weather. But yeah, so fishy wise, the week didn't start out too well. Water changes, everything else all going fine. Pop the 3 full-grown swordtails in there on the Monday. Woke up the Tuesday morning and one of them was missing a tail and had several large bite marks on her. Thought, I think I know who that is. But she seemed okay in herself. She was swimming about all right. No, for not having a tail. or most of a tail anyway. There was a suspicious crescent-shaped bite mark in it, and under her belly and on her head. And so I'll go to bed. Everything's okay. Wake up Tuesday morning. The other female swordtail is totally missing. And the one that was missing most of her tail is now missing all her tail and has another couple of bite marks. Yes, Spaz has got to the size where adult female swordtails are considered food. So £20 worth of swordtails down the bin. Basically, just the expensive Spaz meals. So Spaz has come out of there now. You won't see him behind me. He's in a tub under the stairs at the moment. The plan was to take him in today to the local fish shop. They haven't got an empty tank they can put him in. They still haven't got an empty tank because I just fill them up. But I did take in some other fish. I moved out another 10 bristle noses, but I mean, they were that kind of size. Yeah, it was 10 bristle noses, 20 cribs, and 5 of the shelly dwellies. Yeah, it took me most of the morning to catch them. It's when you're trying to catch particular fish. Now, when they're all roughly the same size, and it doesn't really matter, you can just stick your net in and scoop some out. When you're trying to go for the certain ones, the certain larger ones, it's a bit of a problem. And then shell dwellers, we all know how much of a pig they are to catch. Well, catching them's easy. It's just getting them out of the bloody shell for long enough to move the shell out of the way. Scotty, hello, sir. My little green friend, or grey, or whatever alien species. So yeah, so Spaz is now in the tub under the stairs. Then also on Tuesday, the pair of Aphyosemion australe, the lyre-tailed killifish, decided that the inside of the filter looked a good place to go. So when I did the afternoon feed, and they didn't come zooming out from wherever they were or weren't visible. You know, normally I open the top, drop some food, and they would go whoosh, straight up. They didn't show up, so I was like, okay, they're not cave spawners, they're not hiding up in a cut. Have a quick look around, couldn't see any bodies. Thought, I wonder. Flip the top of the filter. One pair minced killifish, which was a bummer. So yeah, not a good start to the week. And now the computer's deciding it needs to tell me about every single YouTube video that's been uploaded this week. Great. So I'll just sit clicking for about half an hour. Come on. But as the week went on, things got better, things progressed, and we have new fishies. Ooh, what new fishies has Sharpe got? I shall show you a bit closer later, but we have in the far end tank, although he's actually out, so I'll show you now before he disappears and hides again. So right down the front there is a male super red bristlenose, and we've actually got one showing up colour. And we have 5 Melilotania praecox, the dwarf neon rainbows, and a spawning mop just in case. And then avoiding close-ups on my face because no one needs to see that. Actually, no, it's this side, isn't it? It's going the wrong way. And then in here, if the camera will ever focus, probably not. But I managed to do a bit of a deal, mostly because I'm now known as the bristlenose supplier and bristlenose and crib supplier at that particular shop. And now the camera focus has gone completely bonkers. Black it out. No, still not doing it. Hello, Kenny. How are you? Things are slowly improving. Let me just get out of this shot. It might refocus itself then. Now it focuses on the bloody chair. There we go. That's better. Hello, Tropic. How are we doing? So yeah, so new fishes. So yeah, that is 10 peppercorns that I got a good deal on. I've got more money than I was expecting. I think he overpaid me. I'm not complaining. So yeah, I'm now known as the bristlenose and crib guy. When I told him, I said, yeah, I went and got a male super red bristlenose so I can pair him with a female and breed those. He was like, oh, you should have said. You were looking for one of them. He said, I went out the back for a couple of weeks a while back. Someone must have bloody sold it. He said, I'd have given it to you. Like, but as he said, no, he'll take any of my bristlenoses, once they're a certain inch long. The cribs he'll take, the shell dwellers he'll take, and surprisingly, quite getting a good price on those. I'm getting twice what I'm getting for a shell dweller that I am for a crib or a bristlenose. And they take a lot less looking after. I reckon that's £1. The extra £1 is for just bloody catching them. He'll also take any Neocaridina. He's not worried about colour, size, as long as they're not babies. He said, yeah, I'll take them. And he's also looking at if any interesting bristlenoses or plex turn up. He says, now if I get if I get a pair of something in, I'll give you a call. So that's good. I'm getting known now as a supplier, a good supplier, and that can't hurt. Priscilla, hello, my lovely. Yes, that's pretty much what's going on in the fishy room. Still a few things to figure out, but you know, some good news anyway. The week got better as it went on, and so the other thing he did want was Corys. Is that I can sell every Cory I can get, and we can't get many at the moment. But I just had a shipment, so I did get the 10 pepper Corys. Paliatus, I think. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. They are slightly cooler water, which is okay because the heater in that tank went bang. I've got to get a new heater. I would have had a spare, but that's in the tub that Spaz is in at the moment. And I only found out that heater had gone bang because earlier on when I was catching the bristlenoses, I was like, this water isn't very warm. Well, maybe it's just because it's the 50-watt heater and I've had the back door open and it's a bit cooler now. So I swapped the 50-watt that was in there with the 100-watt that was in there. And that 50-watt is on for all it's worth. It's not heating anything up though. So either get on Amazon Prime in the morning or go down to the pet shop, which is about a 3-minute walk, and buy one. I just want a 50-watt heater. It's not exactly difficult to get hold of. And I've got money left over from the fish I sold today. But yes, they do want Spaz. They just need to have a tank to put them in. And I took some pictures while I was there of their monster tanks. I don't want to know what size. I mean, the piranha tank is 10 foot long. And the monster tank, I think, is 12 foot long and about 4 foot deep and 5 foot tall. There are pacu like that in there. Yeah, there's some very, very large fish in that tank. I'll stick some pictures up on Facebook later on one of the groups. Probably not Corys. That might not go down too well. As I got a post banned from another group this week. Well, I got post removed and I got banned because I just got the group names mixed up. You know how you do. And some groups you can post your YouTube links in and no one gives a smeg. Someone might even watch it. They might even click on it. But you know, I accidentally did it in a group that doesn't agree with that. Now, it's not a group that's owned by a fish shop or anything like that. They just don't like people spamming links to YouTube. Yeah. So they banned me from the group. So that's 2 groups I got banned from this week. One was a modelling group, but that was for a different reason. That was for having had enough of dealing with idiots and telling someone to FO and die. I may have also told him his God is dead and no one cares. And I may have also called him Ebola boy. But, you know. If someone insults as a go at me, I'm going to have a go back and they're going to lose. Well, yeah, he lost because I don't have to deal with that group anymore. So, yes. Eventful week, really, considering I'm not working anymore. So I hope everyone else had a decent week anyway. Yeah, and everyone stayed safe and well. And nobody's been warming snakes up down their cleavage, Priscilla. Yes, so there we go. That's a lot to get through. And I've got through it really quick. We're going to see if I've missed anyone and not said hello. Sorry, I'm old and crap and tired. I've not had 5 minutes literally today. I mean, I had a nap for an hour, but that's just one 1 hour nap in the afternoon, and who can survive on that? I'm used to 2 or 3 naps. But yeah, so, and then Mary, being Mary, happy Fish Dad Day. Lots of love from all of the fishies. Yeah, thank you especially for everything you do and for looking after us so well. Well, considering the amount of ex-fishes I have and the amount of times things go wrong, I wouldn't say I'm doing a great job, but I'm trying, I'm learning. And Marrot's in the middle of throwing pointy sticks at a wall. That's the only way I say it would defrost. Yeah, I mean, now I'm sure the snake weren't complaining. I wouldn't. No, I mean, yeah. When you think about it, it's the perfect inbuilt snake warmer. I mean, you don't want to know where I'd had to stick a snake, and I wouldn't be sticking a snake there. There's already one down there. It's only got one eye. And it's a dwarf species. It gets bigger when it's excited, though. Yeah, that did make me chuckle. Oh, still not sponsored, but today we're on a mummy ball because it was part of my Fish Dad Day present. So basically, my fish, aka Mary, bought me, as you may have seen in the thumbnail, my Fish Dad bucket. Came stocked with all sorts of useful things. Nothing for breeding fish or keeping fish. We had 2 cans of mummy bull. I call it mummy bull because it's the medium size. So you have baby bull and daddy bull, the other sides. Equal bottle of Coke because Coke is always good. A bag of dry roasted peanuts. A tub of jingles. There's me other mummy bowl. and stuff that some people in chat will go, oh, awesome, lovely, and others will go, oh, vom, hideous. Single serving of Stilton and a single serving of Larule. Lovely, lovely cheesies. And we have a box of garlic crackers to have with the Larule. And some McVitie's Classic Caramel Bliss, very important biscuits. We have proper Maynard Bassett's Tangy Wine Gums. It's like Mary knows me really well. Sorry, Priscilla. Single size or single portion bar of Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Yeah, that's what I call a single serving. That's the size chocolate bar you open and then 5 minutes later it's all gone. So you're then looking around for another one. And then the thing that virtually everyone will think is gross. Jar o' pickled eggs. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. And some lovely vinegar to drink as well. Yes, yes, I'm that person. I'm that person that eats the pickled eggs and then drinks the vinegar. Because it's eggy vinegar. What's not to love? Yeah, I'm gross. I know it. And I don't care. No sense of smell, very little sense of taste. So, you know, it's the way it goes. Right, has anything else happened this week? I talked about what happened in the video I put up. There's some football thing going on at the moment that for some stupid reason I decided to watch one of the games. England, Scotland. I don't know. Look, from the little I looked when I was looking up from my tablet, watching stuff on YouTube, it's like no one in the England team actually knew how to play football. Just no concept of creativity or attacking. Obvious things like someone passes the ball to you, you don't stand directly facing them, you stand sideways on so you can then go either direction. Ugh. So yeah, so I won't be watching any more of that. Probably won't need to because I doubt England will make it out of the group stage. Or if they do, they'll only get to the next game and then that'll be it. Well, Bobbert. Hello, Bob. How the devil are you? What fresh hell? What have I done now? Speaking about football, pickled eggs, or drinking Red Bull. One or the other, or the haircut. Yep, I keep trying to book my COVID shots, but it keeps telling me that like the closest place is 70 odd miles away, so that's not happening. Sending fusses for Yahtzee and all the other hounds and everything else you got there, Bob. And you can have a belly rub too. You gotta fess up to something. I've always done something wrong, Bob. Come on, this is me. Come on, this is me. I've always done something wrong. I might have to think about what it might have been. I might not realise I've done it. That's usually more likely I don't realise I've done it. But, you know, generally, I've always done something wrong. Made some mistake, accidentally offended someone because they took something the wrong way. They thought I was being offensive and I wasn't. So then I am offensive and then they get really upset. You know how it goes. People keep poking you and poking you until you poke back, and then they go and play victim. Yeah, kind of people that need just a good slapping because they've never had one, probably. Yeah. Again, I'm trying to think of anything else that's happened. Cut the grass. That's about it. Well, the front grass. Yeah. Played merry hell with my hay fever, so I left the back. And then, oh no, it started raining again. What? Oh, how bad a luck could I have? It's almost like I planned that I'd get the front done and then wouldn't get the back done because it would be raining. The Ark is doing well, thank you, Bob. We have taken some fishes out and sold them, and we have some new fishes in. I can't get this blooming t-shirt comfortable around my shoulders at the moment. Yeah, so new arrivals for anyone who wasn't here earlier. We have 5 dwarf neon rainbows, 2 males, 3 females, a male super red bristlenose, and 10 peppercorries. I've still got £20, and I took in 20 cribs, 10 bristlenoses, and 5 shellies, which in my book mounts up to 40 quid, and he gave me 50, so I don't know. And then gave me a lot of money off of the fish as well that I bought. As I did the maths, and it should have come up to £42.50 for those, and he charged me 30. Purely because he knows I'm getting them so I can breed them, and I will take any young I have back to him so he can then sell them. So in the end, he'll make more money. He'll make more money selling them to me. Well, assuming I can get them breeding anyway. I'll give it a bloody good go. Watch a couple of videos, so kind of know what to do. I say, so if I can get them breeding, then he will make more money out of that than he would if he just sold them to someone who wanted 1 or 2 or whatever. We just stick them in a community and they wouldn't breed. Yeah, as I say, Bob, I'm now known as the bristlenose supplier and the crib supplier. And he's also more than willing to take my Caridina shrimp or near Caridina shrimp as well. So I said, it's a mix of colours. It's a Skittles tank, but yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll take them. I can't get hold of them for love nor money, he says. So yes, we're going to be selling some of those. Although obviously not any of the big females that are pregnant. All the blue ones. Now it is, I always have to spank Anthony before he offends someone. I mean, you can spank me anyway, Priscilla. I mean, I'll still offend people. I just, it just happens. Just my being offends some people. Let alone when you start talking about woke and social justice and that kind of stuff. Then I just become a dinosaur to some people. Because violence does solve a lot of problems. If it doesn't solve the problem, you've just not used enough violence. That's obviously, I'm not advocating using violence to solve every problem, but it helps. It really does. Especially these days, the amount of people there are that have never been punched in the face. Shelley's are redecorating after the carnage from this morning. There's a piece of moss in our tank. Get rid of it. Stick it by the filter. Hello, Elizabeth. Hope all is well with you. And in sunny Florida. And Anthony. Haha. Yeah, I figured you'd enjoy a good spanking, Anthony. And I keep sitting here looking at cheese, and I really shouldn't be eating cheese on a live stream. Some people get upset enough when the host drinks. I mean, just drink, not alcohol. And I smoke as well. Yeah. I think YouTube's given up on the... Yeah, we're going to call that advertiser unfriendly because you're smoking. Oh my God. All hail, all hail. It's the Lord of the F-stop. Captain Exposure. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Scott, how are you, my friend? Thank you very much for the super chat. Always appreciated. And I hope all is well with yourself and Liz and any remaining fishies, all the doggies. And I hope your photography keeps advancing. I still say you need less light and you need to shake the camera about a bit more to get that lovely blurry effect. Because if you do that, right, you can get away with having a cheap camera, and then when people go, your photos are rubbish, you can go, potato camera, and then no one can say anything. Yeah, I'm kind of like that with most things. Now, you give me an expensive camera, I'd still take blurry, out of focus pictures. Put me in an expensive suit, I'd still look scruffy. I'd just look scruffy and uncomfortable. There's very few things that giving me or putting me in the expensive version of is going to work. Radio control cars is one, and that's probably about it. And model kits. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Anything scale model related. That the expensive one I can make use of. But yes. Anyway, as I said, big hugs and loves, Scott and Liz. You will be missed in the fish fam. But one thing I did want to say is, please leave the Two Queens Cichlids channel up. Don't go deleting it. You'll still make money off of it because people still watch the videos, because I do. And there's a lot of useful information on there that will be helpful for people moving forwards. And it saves the rest of us trying to remake those videos after you've deleted them. And if you've got a link to your photography channel, feel free to either pop it in the chat or just type out the name of the channel. It's Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And that's all I'm going to sing of that, or I will get hit with a copyright strike, because even with my voice, they'll recognize that one. Yeah. This is it. It's something I've seen more than once, where enjoy your lunch, don't eat anything I wouldn't eat. So that's no fruit and veg. Father's Day dinner, yes. Enjoy your Father's Day dinner. Just make sure the father in question actually wants to have a dinner. Some of us like to just be left alone. I mean, I'm not even a father. Oh, damn me. But that's at Swiss Aquatics. I thought you were talking to me then, Anthony. Anthony. Depends, whichever. Tony. Dude. Yeah, good. No channel delete. Because I've seen people do that in the past, where they've got out of the hobby, or they've had enough of negative comments and they delete their entire channel. It's like, oh, why did you do that? There's so much useful information on there. And okay, admittedly, pretty much at this point, any video any of us are going to make has already been made. But what you've got to remember is we all come at it from slightly different angles and use slightly different terminologies, or have voices or personalities that people prefer or don't prefer. So, you know, for some weird reason, there are some people out there that like my voice and personality in a video. There are others that can't stand it. That's the vast majority. Looking at the views, subscribers count anyway. Something like 78% of the people who watch my videos don't subscribe. It's a bit of a bummer. I wish they did. Yeah, got a voice for silent movies, Bob. I mean, it sounds fine when I'm talking like this, but when I play it back, oh, it sounds like it's like nails down a chalkboard. It really is, to me anyway. I know people say that the Americans find an English accent sexy. I really don't see it. I mean, I think certain American accents are sexier. Oh, and the Swiss and the Norwegian ones are pretty damn good as well. The least sexiest voices are a bloody country bumpkin from the UK. Oh, Guild. What is that with that small channel keeps deciding to stream at the same time as me? Make that two of them. I've definitely got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies. And a brain for an asylum. And a body for the breaker's yard. You know, the Kentucky Tennessee hillbilly. Yeah, so this is the weird thing is I can understand all the weird, all the different American accents. I can understand them all. Some of the English ones I really struggle with. Cornish is a nightmare. Derbyshire ain't too good either. And proper broad Scots, oh God. You need another Scot to translate it into Scottish, so you can then translate it into English. You got a lovely accent, Priscilla. All exotic. Yeah. No, so I do kind of like that southern drawl. That is good. You got an excellent voice, Bob. It's just very calming and relaxing. I'm not saying it sends you to sleep because it doesn't, but it's just and Bob is speaking and the stress is just washing away. Then the next video comes on and it's some high energy jump cut type person. It's just no. No, you don't need to sound like you're about to orgasm every sentence. You don't have to jump cut every 3 seconds. Click off. Yeah, perfect bedtime story voice, exactly. Cold night, tucked up in bed. The sheets and duvet pulled up right under your chin. You're snuggled down and there's Bob reading your story. That'd be perfect. Yeah, that would be. There you go, Bob. There's an idea for you. Bob's Bedtime Stories. I'm sure a lot of people would tune in, especially the not so good at parenting people. All right, time for bed, sweetheart. Okay, in you get. Right, plate. There you go. Night night. Yeah, I think we've all known parents that would do that. I mean, I'd do that, but that, or would I actually read it? I'd probably read it, but yeah, same as Victor. Yeah, yeah, I'd read the story, but no. Do you want a fairy tale? Should we go with Hansel and Gretel? Yeah. Okay. No, no, no. We don't need your book of little fairy tales. I've got my book of fairy tales. This is the original Hansel and Gretel. Happy nightmares. Yeah, that would be me. I'm not looking to scare young children, just to get them so they aren't so scared of things. Yeah, this is the thing. When I start reading H.P. Lovecraft and Stephen King and that when I was about 8, so that kind of explains a lot. H.P. had an interesting accent. Yeah. I mean, my accent is a total hodgepodge, and to Americans it might just sound like an English accent. To English people, it's completely weird because I just pick up the laziest parts of whatever accent I hear. So there are London, Essex, Hertfordshire, bit posher, Norfolk, now Suffolk as well. There's some Welsh, some Black Country, yeah, bit of Scots, all sorts of weirdness. Not necessarily in the accent, but in my vocabulary, in the way I speak. I do actually have to think a little bit about how I speak when I'm speaking in a video or on a live stream to make sure it is actually kind of understandable. Because I do drop letters. There's an obvious example. I do use words that are regional, shall we say, or words that I've made up myself. I've had people confused when I asking what a buzzy bumble is. It's a bumblebee. They buzz and they bumble. It's a buzzy bumble. Or a cookie buck. It's a chicken. They live in a coop and they go buck. Hi S, how you doing? Don't worry about missing out on saying hello all. I'm in top chat again, aren't I? Colour me, idiot. I've probably been missing out on a whole bunch of chat here when my computer actually wakes up. Not that it's going to show me the entire box. There we go. Yeah. That's either very fat thumbs or the cat fell asleep on the keyboard. But you mean a South African accent? Have you got a secret? As one of my foster families, the dad was a South African. So unfortunately, a lot of the South African I know is highly racist, or from the movie District 9. working and lurking. Ah, Melvin. Hello, Melvin. How are you? Sorry if you put something in earlier and I didn't see it because I was in top chat like a dumbass. Whenever I'm in someone else's live stream chat, first thing I do, go in, close chat because it automatically opens, hit the like button, click live chat. For some reason, I keep bloody forgetting to do it on my own bloody screens. Oh, God help me. Yeah, so South Africans, yeah, it is. Just don't get it confused with the Zimbabwean accent because they get really upset. It's like calling an American a Canadian accent or a Kiwi an Aussie. It's, yeah, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Yeah, so South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, generally that area, it's all very similar to the untrained ear. Obviously, if you're from that area, you can tell the difference. American, to me, there's a general sort of southern accent, Tennessee, Louisiana, all that kind of area. To me, it all kind of sounds the same. Unless you start getting to the Cajun swamp folk, then it gets all weird. You said, yeah. Yes. I'll say, so to me, all those accents kind of sound about the same, but to someone from that area, they can tell the difference between each accent, probably from the counties in the various states, let alone state to state. And the East Coast and the West Coast, and someone from the real north of America or from the real south of Canada, you really can't tell the difference unless you're a local. Pardon me. Unless they say "a" at the end of every sentence, and then you know they're Canadian, eh? And if I start doing that, it will trickle in. It'll actually become part of my vocabulary. Started saying vocabulary before I've said part. Yeah, very. My brain is about 3 words ahead usually. That's the problem I had when I was writing any essays out at school. I'd have to write real fast for my hands to be able to even remotely keep up with how my brain was going. My brain would be about 3 sentences ahead of where my hand had got. So I'd be sat there like, do like a 1,500 word essay in less than an hour. Austrian, German, and Swiss. I can tell you, I can definitely tell you between Austrian and German. And Swiss, yeah, Swiss to me does sound different. But then again, that's because I'm closer to that area. And I have more dealings with people from those countries. Yeah, I've heard it described as Austrian sounds like German from a country bumpkin. Then Swiss, where you just switch to French and you're okay. Bonjour, mon ami. Yeah, Belgian is a good accent. Admittedly, the only people I know from Belgium are complete nut jobs. But German is great. It is. It sounds like German spoke by an idiot. There's no nicer way of putting it, I'm afraid. Sorry, any Austro-Germans out there, but and it's the same kind of thing with all the former Eastern Bloc countries. It shouldn't be, but for some reason they all sound the same to me. And I even know the differences between the languages. But because I'm in Attleborough, we've got Poles, Lithuanians, Ukrainians, Russians, Hungarians, Bulgarians, and most of them sound pretty much the same. but I can't complain because their grasp of English is far better than my grasp of whatever their native language is. Yeah, check. Yeah, it's when not anymore because I don't work there anymore. But when I was working in the shop, they'd come in, they'd be asking for alcohol or tobacco. Yeah, fine. No, I understand that entirely. When they actually say Smirnoff correctly, and or vodka, they say that correctly, and they're talking to one of your colleagues or asking one of your colleagues for it, who happens to be pure Norfolk, and they're just looking at him like, "I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't understand you." There you go. Oh god, camera's gone blurry again. I moved too fast. Not that happens very often. All right, let's get my butt out of the way of camera. Actually, let's have a look see at the new fishes while the camera's all out of focus. I might put it back in focus. So, for those who may not have seen, there we go. Will it focus now? Will it heck? Come on. No. There we go. So there's the peppercorns. So I'm guessing they're probably too small to breed yet, but we'll grow them out and see what happens. I will keep an eye out for eggs on the glass and try and keep the camera at least remotely level. And then over here, and as usual, the bristly nose is hiding up. Oh, there we go. But we have the Praecox rainbows. That way somewhere. Oh, and you can just about see the bristle nose down behind the rock. Were there any other newbies? No. So now the only cribs I've got are in here. There's about 25, 30 in there now. Bristle nose, more shellies, more bristle noses. Although not that many in there now. So we can hopefully get the numbers under control. A lot of Eastern Europeans intelligence and facial features, yeah. I've noticed there's a certain thing with it was in focus. What are you doing to me, camera? No. Yes, especially Ukrainians, they kind of have that, and Poles, they have that kind of haunted look in their eyes. Like they've experienced and seen things that people really shouldn't have experienced and seen, and they can't unsee it now. Let's see if that's any better. There we go. Yeah, I hate to generalise, but there's kind of that thing to me anyway. What else we got in? We've got Spanish and Portuguese and Brazilians in town. Malaysians and Chinese. Yeah, so considering it's a small market town in the butt end of nowhere in the arse end of the country, it's very multicultural. And it's one of those weird things because it's you think little farming communities, that kind of places, you'd think they'd be more resistant to. I hate to use the word foreigners coming in or the phrase, but there's no problems with it here at all. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I've got that going on. Fetal alcohol syndrome, forehead. I haven't got a 4 head, I've got a 5 head. And if my hairline goes any further back, it's going to be a 6 head. But yeah. Mind you, is it the Tennessee? Is it that area where the melon heads are? Speaking of weird cryptids. Yeah, the Portuguese do talk quickly. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand a word of that. I know a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Italian, a little bit of German. I speak French, but yeah. Yeah, melon heads, it's kind of one of those things that's sort of classed as paranormal or cryptid, but it's more hydrocephalic babies that got sent away, and then the place they got sent away to closed down and they just got released, as it were. That is the general theory of the story, but yeah, there's plenty of videos on it, Bob, if you wanted to do some research on that. Oh yeah, Italians. Hey, mamma mia, how you doing? Yeah, and you only have to have met an Italian once, and the second time you meet them, they hug you and kiss you. They're even bigger tarts than I am. Yes, how the devil are you? Speaking of Southern belles and wonderful accents, how are you? Thankfully, you came in after we finished talking about melon heads, but good to see you, my dear. Hope all is well with you. And the got an itch. It's feeding them bloody neighbours' cats. I'm sure they give me fleas. I've only been around there once. Never refuse anything from an Italian. Yeah, you'll wake up with a horse's head in your bed. Mind you, I've woken up with worse. There have been days when if I'd have woken up and seen a horse's head, it'd have been a better thing to see. Oh yeah, Italian food. The only downside of Italian food is like it's too much tomato, and I don't like tomato. I can handle a bolognese or a lasagna because that's just pulped and there's not actually lumps of tomato in it. It's just kind of. I mean, if I make a bolognese, I use ketchup. Yeah, Italian food, no. Yeah, not the. Mind you, I don't know whether English Italian food would be better than American Italian food, or not necessarily better, but closer to the original. Don't know, because we've both got quite a bit of Italian immigration has happened. Not sure. Although it's certainly let's hangover food. See that's me. No, that's hangover food. Full English. Fried sausages, fried bacon, fried hash browns, fried eggs, fried mushrooms, fried bread, brown sauce, black pudding. What else? Yeah, that's the best hangover food. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Italy, but I hear such. I mean, I would like to go on holiday to Italy with someone that would ask for pineapple on a pizza. Just to watch him get thrown out of the restaurant. But no, it's tomato, it's passata sauce, mozzarella, and basil leaves. Sorry, basil. You might get away with asking for some ham or some bacon, as long as it's a good ham or a good bacon. No longer can't beat a Domino's. Oh, you can. You can beat a Domino's with a stick. I'll say, oh, it's not that bad, but it is. But Domino's ain't good pizza. Ain't even good garlic bread. Not enough garlic on it. Too much bread. Not enough butter and garlic. It's also too bloody expensive. If I want to get a Domino's, I have to spend at least 25 quid. No speed limit, people friendly, banger food and adult beverages. Pretty good porn industry as well. Certainly better than the movie industry. Yes. Although, I mean, you can tell I'm English, right? Because I do enjoy a lasagna sandwich. Get your lasagna, a couple of bits of buttered bread, cut a chunk out of the lasagna, stick it in, and yeah, lasagna butties. Yes, I am that much of a heathen. Otherwise, shepherd's pie sandwiches, they're good as well. Yeah. Mince, gravy, mashed potato sandwich. Friday night drive 5 hours. Party one, we can go back. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I remember hearing not long ago there was a small town on the coast, full English pizza. That'll work as long as you didn't put any of the nasty red stuff on there, like baked beans or tomatoes. Yeah, there was a small coastal town in Italy. I can't remember the name of it. Probably ended in O. They normally do. They did a trial. They put speed cameras in. And at the end of the trial, they took the speed cameras out and the mayor said, no, we don't want them because they slow people down too much. Cool. Pot noodle sandwich. I've not done it. I could see me doing it, but I'm not a fan of pot noodles. It's one of those things where I don't have one for several years, and then for some reason I get hankering for a pot noodle, and then I have one, and I don't have one for several years. So I don't. Yeah, I mean, I love decent cup noodles, but pot noodles are just grim. It's what, isn't it? Yeah, auto bumper lets you driving in the Lamborghini because it's the only thing quick enough to catch what they're chasing. Plus, you know, they're Italian. They've got to look good. They've got to drive a cool car. Not going to be like our traffic wombles that drive around in Subaru Imprezas. Or Vauxhall Astra VXRs. It's one of those where you look at the person chasing you and you go, just don't bother. Half the time they don't. Although with the road, especially around here, with the roads we've got, high speed chase, anything above 30, you're probably going to kill yourself. Old people in Fit 500s. Oh yeah, Cinquecentos. The new ones or the old Fiat 500s? Because the new one ain't really a Fiat 500. And they call it a 500 and they put a 1200 engine in it. No, the reason it's called a 500 is it had a 500cc engine. Yeah, see, chicken and mushroom is probably the best of the bunch. But if I'm going to do it, I prefer like the hot pasta, the pasta and sauce, or as I call it, the pasta and sauce, because they don't put a space in between it. Yeah, although I did have the American mac and cheese the other day, and I wasn't impressed with that flavour. It was just really watery, didn't really taste cheesy. And then American cheese isn't cheese, is it really? So let's be honest. But then if I do get a can of macaroni cheese over here, I add extra cheese to it anyway. Probably about 3 times as much as is already in there. Yeah, let's go into Italy for a weekend trip. Yeah, but then you can go to California and we're making Jess hungry. I mean, I could soon end that hunger by wolfing down a chunk of blue cheese or a pickled egg. Watching me inhale a pickled egg will put anyone off of eating food. Paris with the was it TGV? Yes, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I could probably get to Paris relatively rapidly. Let's get to over. Yeah, might take a while, but yeah. The problem with Paris is it's full of French people. Actually, Paris isn't full of French people. Paris is full of people pretending to be French or tourists. Not quite that fast, Priscilla, but it is rapid. It's certainly quicker than British trains are. Most of our train lines have got a 50 or a 60 mile an hour limit. There are places around here with a 30 limit. Now, when you're driving down the road and you're overtaking the trains, that's not good. But then, to be fair, the majority of our train work has been around since train network has been around since the Industrial Revolution. So, yeah, some of those train lines are like 300 years old. Stephenson's rocket may well have run on them. Heck, we still get steam trains come through Attleborough fairly regularly. This is the not North Norfolk, the Mid Norfolk Steam Railway. So when the trains have to be serviced, they can't service them there, so they go back to a servicing yard, get serviced, and then come back. And someone complains about all the smoke that's coming out of it. Yeah, that's steam, darling. It's a steam train. 574. Jesus, what's that? What's that in English? 6, 12, 18, 20. Yeah, it's like what, 340, 350, 340, 350 mile an hour? Yeah. 340 mile an hour. Ludicrous. Ideal if you want to commit suicide, though. You're not going to know about that if it hits you. To be fair, the driver's probably not going to know much about it either, apart from a red smear up the windscreen, if he's unlucky. I went far out for a rough guesstimate in my head. Lovely, lovely Amber. Big hug, big hug. Lovely seeing you yesterday on Chris's stream. Hope all is well. and you're happy and healthy. And sending big loves and fusses to the kitties as well. Oh, big Ewok hug. Yay. Big fluffy Ewok hugs. I'm assuming you mean big, not bug. It's always good to see you. You see, you draw a crowd, Amber. You know? It's because you got the knowledges in your head. And let's be honest, you're not bad to look at either. And as we've been talking about a lot tonight, you got a nice voice as well. And well, so pretty much all of you, if you're ever in the UK and you need somewhere to crash, give me a shout. Nothing is very low. Peanut sends nothing but petulance and trouble. Peanut sounds like my kind of cat. Because yeah, it takes a bit of work, but once you get there, you've got a friend for life. And so, and this week the neighbours are on holiday, so I'm feeding all their cats. So we've got Sparky, a little ginger girl. She's 21, so she has to have the wet food because she's got hardly any teeth left. And she's deaf as a post as well. Oh yeah, bathing cats. Yeah, rather you than me. Gardening gloves at a minimum, and probably welder's gloves would be a better idea because they come up to about there. Yeah, so little Sparky, or Sparky Wacky Doodle, as I call her, but she's deaf, so she can't hear her. I'm making you blush. Oh, bless. Well, it's true. Don't blush, right? If you weren't lovely and didn't have the knowledges, people wouldn't like you so much. And those people that hate you or don't like you, right? They're just scum. Don't worry about them. They're just jealous because they know they ain't as smart and they ain't as beautiful. There we go. And sorry, Merritt, I do flirt with more than one person. Yeah, so we've got Ginger, we've got Sparky, then we've got Ginger, who's the big ginger puddy cat. That's the one I'm trying to get friendly with. And he's actually got to the point now where will come towards me for a little fuss and have a cuddle. Not for long, but let's get in there. Pumpkin, the tortoiseshell, who is just about scared of everything and everyone. I did get a little stroke tonight when I was feeding her. And there's Vincent, the little black girlie. She's friendly. She's also quite old. And then there's the one that we don't know the name of. We don't know where it came from. We're not even entirely sure if it's just fat or pregnant. So I'll call it Fat Cat. 10 cats, Persians and ragdolls, both. Yes. You're best off just sticking them outside in the rain. Pretty much. I would have, if I'd have tried to have bathed Zach, I would have lost my arms. It took a while just to be able to towel him down if he got wet in the rain. Now we're talking about a cat that would trust me implicitly. A cat that I can pick up and cuddle and bust and do belly rubs and play with. First time I tried to towel him off, he ran. A few times later, and he realised it was just kind of like a fuss, but a bit softer and warmer, and it dried him off, and he liked it then. Oh, Muffin's lost all his remaining teeth. We get one bottom fang. Murphin. Derpy. Oh, bless derpy old cat. Oh, she's absolutely lovely. He just wants to Far too many cats. Yeah, well, the thing is, they're animal lovers, fair enough. That is a cat thing, Plecko. Yeah, Pleckos and cats. Zach loved Pleckos as well. He still does. Um, yeah, he would sit there for hours watching Bristle Noses go up the glass. £21. Chat bomb away, Amber. It's lovely to have you. And I'm always up for talking about furry friends. You know that because he's still there, looking down on us all, judging us, as he earned every right to do. Rather bang the tiger. The tigers like water. That's the thing. They're a semi-aquatic cat, basically, aren't they? They'll quite happily swim across rivers and chase prey into rivers, and so they ain't worried about getting wet. I'll say, yeah, neighbours, they had Zach. Sparky wasn't originally their cat. She was my neighbour that side's cat who abandoned her. She then started living in my garden. I didn't realise because my garden was very overgrown. Thankfully, there were lots and lots of mice and small birds, so she didn't starve. And then she got next door. So, yeah, Sparky, who was Tiggy back then. Ginger and Pumpkin come from across the road. They basically got booted out and then made their way over. Same with Vincent. And Black Cat, we got no idea where she came from. She just turned up one day. And hopefully at some point I can get a fuss from her as well. I think part of the reason they don't, especially, Ginger, I don't know why, because Ginger's friends with Zach. But obviously Zach is still here, so that might be why they don't come in. Ginger will come up to the door and stick her head in, and I'll be like looking around, and I say, "Hello, come on in." But I'll walk up to the door and give her a fuss. She will not come in. I'm wondering whether that's because Zach is still in here, and this is Zach's house, as it were. He was one of the cats, the only one of the cats they had next door that they actually was their cat. They bought him. And he decided I was his human. Which I think at one point they kind of didn't like. But then they kind of realized that, I didn't do anything. It wasn't up to, I didn't steal him or anything. He turned up. I took my time. I made friends with him, and then he was like, "Yeah, you're cool. Yeah, you got no cats and no dogs. I can just chill out. You keep the curtains shut so no one else can see me. I can just chill. I can be myself. I don't have to maintain an image or anything." So get him out the front there, psycho attack cat. Just about give him a stroke. Even I could just about give him a stroke. No cuddles or belly rubs or anything. As soon as you got indoors, yeah, it's good spot to chill. Pardon me. Apart from the burping and farting, waking him up regularly. If he was asleep in my lap, the way I'd know a fart smelled bad was he wouldn't even wake up. He would just put the claws in. He'd be like, "You git. I can smell that. Ugh. Sorry, buddy." If it was really bad, he'd get up, walk off, sit the outside the room, and just give me stink eye until it kind of wafted away and faded. Then he'd come back. Oh, Peanut loves kisses. Well, yeah, that's. I know the way you have with fish. I'm assuming that translates to all animals. So, yeah. I can quite see it. You're going to become the crazy cat and fish lady. Mind you, at least you got something to do with your coals, haven't you? And it smells like garbage litter and some type of ferret musk. See, that's why I have no sense of smell. I have an advantage. If the cat smells of garbage litter and ferret musk, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know if I smell of garbage litter and ferret musk, which I probably do most of the time. But yeah, I've probably smelled of worse things over the years. Yeah, gotta love a kitty. I love. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs as well, and I make friends with virtually every dog I ever meet, almost instantly. But cats, yeah, cats. If a cat decides you're cool, it's an honour. Ferrets are awesome. Yeah, cat snakes and floof noodles. Yeah, ferrets are cool, but I've never had it. I've never had ferrets. I've had rats and hamsters. Rats are much better pets than hamsters are. I don't know why people push hamsters as pets because they're psychotic little bastards. Just as likely to sink their teeth into you as they are to sniff you. Whereas rats don't bite. They'll have a snuffle. They'll tell you what they've been doing all day. They'll come and sit on your shoulder, fall asleep, curl up in your hair. You'll forget they're there and you'll go to the shops and then they'll stick their head out when you're at the checkout. Scare the crap out of the poor girl behind the checkout. I'll leave the kitchen door open to all the cats who might wander in. Oh, as I say, you grow up surrounded by cats, exactly. Cats rock. And that's the only reason I don't have a cat myself is, admittedly at the moment, don't work. But, if you're working all day and there's no one at home, it's not fair on a fur animal or fur buddy. Just lock them indoors or lock them outdoors all day. And Zach never had a litter box. He'd wander outside, do what he got to do, and wander back in again. Or if the door was shut, he'd come and tell me he needed to go to the loo. And if he really needed to go to the loo, you could tell it was the human. I really need to go, or I'm going to poop or pee on your carpet, probably in your shoes. There, Zach could do that. He'd go out. You hear him jump over the fence, go quiet for a few seconds, then you clambering up and jumping back over the fence, and then you come back in again. And he's gone poop next door. Yeah. People say, "Oh, with all the cats, when you're doing your gardening, don't you worry about all the cat muck?" What cat muck? I don't get any in my garden. all next door's cats view my garden as their territory, so they don't poop in it. They might spray up things. Hence why if I'm going to feed nettles to the shrimp, then they come from the top of the nettle, out of cat spray range. But yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I think about it. Thinking about nettles. My New Zealand flax is flowering this year, which is a rarity. about the third time it's done it in however many years I've had it, 10. I mean, it's about the size of half my garden, but yeah, we're talking about a phormium with 8-foot long leaves. Keeps the weeds under control. Yeah, exactly, yeah. You don't poop in your own house, do you? You poop somewhere else. It's like people who go out and litter. I wouldn't do it at home. At home, they'll carefully put all their rubbish in the bin, but as soon as they're out and outside and out and about, they just dump it any old where. Whereas me at home, I dump my rubbish on the floor, and then when I'm out, I put it in the bin. Even to the point where if I can't find a bin, I've come home with cigarette butts in my pocket because I couldn't find a bin to put them in. And I just look to the right, and I've got, oh yeah, there's 2 packs of cream cake, 2 cream cake packets down on the floor, and an empty Coke bottle. And I cleared up yesterday. Yeah, there's not a lot winds me up more than littering, especially in like nature or whatever. There's no need for it. Next door has 4 small yappy dogs. Yeah, cats will do that. If it's a small yappy dog and the cat's bigger, the cat will go for the dog because the cat knows it can escape. HOA, Homeowners Association. Yeah. The cat can have a go at the dog, and if the dog has to go back, the cat just either jumps up a fence or up a tree. The dog can't get it. The cat just sits there and licks its nuts. Or just waves its pencil sharpener at them. Cats have got that attitude. Probably why I like them. They've got the attitude. There's another couple of cats down the road that I'm friendly with. They'll just come running over for a fuss. Well, there's a few dogs that will drag their owners across the street to get a fuss off me as well, but I don't try. I just attract animals far more than I attract people. They recognise their own kind, that's what that is. All Maltese now. Didn't stand a chance. I mean, I remember when I had Ratner, neighbour's cat, back at the time, Ratner being my rat. Over the years, yeah, I've been really imaginative with names for pets. But yeah, cat got in my bedroom one day while Ratner was out. I hear what sounded like World War III going off in my bedroom. Went through to investigate. Yeah. There's a cat bleeding badly and a rat sat there looking very angry and aggressive. There's a case of grab the cat, throw it out the window. It was a bungalow. It only fell about 3 feet. And calm Ratner down, give her a fuss and check her for injuries. Nothing. Not even a scratch. Mind you, she wasn't a pet rat. She was a rat. No, like pet rats get about that big without the tail. Ratner was like that. Yeah, sounds about right. And that, they do. Cats launch. When you see how high a cat can jump when it wants to, and how long they can stay airborne. No, there's more than once I've seen white blur, seen a grey blur, then a white blur going across sort of eye level in the back garden, and it's been Zach going after a pigeon. He's literally in the air after it, going horizontal. How the hell does he fly? He'd hide up on top of the fence. You'd think, how can a white and black cat hide up on top of a fence? There was a lot of ivy, and he'd hide there when pigeons would come down to feed on something in the ivy. And he'd get quite a few of them. There's a lot more pigeons around here now than there were last year. That's for sure. They've all the babies have survived this year. Ah, Warrior, how you doing? All good here? Now? Ish. Yeah, can't grumble. Not a millionaire yet, but you know, we're working on it. 1 penny at a time. All I've got to do is breed and sell 1 million bristlenoses and I'll be a millionaire. Well, that'll probably cost me 1.1 million in it, electric, water and food. Yeah. That kilo bag of algae wafers I bought the other week. Half gone. And I'm not even full of bristlenoses at the moment. So, yeah. I'm going to have to start buying it by the sackful, I think. Yes, this is a bit different to the people who buy the tiny little pots of algae wafers or the little bags of algae wafers. Because I did that, the new new pet and garden store opened up in town. It's the old pet and garden store, but they've moved. So, yeah. Purpose-built building and bigger. They've expanded the fish section marginally. Takes up about the same amount of room. They've just got more of the same thing. Yeah, apple snails are really rare. They've just become legal, though, so expect the market to get flooded. There were a couple in my local Maidenhead this week, and I went up there because that's where I got the dwarf neons and the bristly nose in. Yeah, it's only recently, the last month or two, apple snails are now legal to own. So yeah. But then it would probably only be people like us, nutters, that will buy them and then breed them. Other people won't even buy them because snails are bad. No, you've got snails in your fish tank, you've got to get rid of them. It's only supposed to have a fish. No, it's only supposed to have the fish in it, and only the fish that you put in there. Anything else must die. No. Yay, I got rid of all my snails. Now what do I do about all this algae? Never had algae before. That's because you had snails. Yeah, I mean, so Maidenhead, I like to go, they're expensive, but they do have a wider range of fish than a lot of the local fish stores around here. The one I went to today has a big range. They have a big range of certain things. So there's a lot of live bearers, there's a lot of African cichlids, and not much else. They do have some of the weirder things. They have got red-tailed cats. They have got piranhas. They have got pacu, giant gourami, snakeheads. Yeah, did a good deal. Yeah, I said in the place I was at today, I got a very good deal. 10 peppercorns for 30 quid. Can't go wrong. But the place I was at today is the place I sell to. So he knows I will try and breed them, and if I get them breeding, he knows I'll sell him the babies back. And so by selling them to me a little bit cheaper, chances are he's going to make more money out of them, which works well for everyone. Because then people get locally bred fish, bred in tanks and looked after better. Yeah. Used to the local water conditions, stronger, fitter, friendlier. Now, I'm not knocking the farms. How do you sell to stores? Well, it all depends on your local borough council and what the laws are. Fortunately, in my borough, Breckland, you don't have to have a pet shop license to sell to a pet store in Breckland. If I want to sell to a pet store in Norwich or South Norfolk or other ones, I need to get a pet shop license, which is what I'm kind of in the process of getting. Because my theory being, if I breed enough fish, the one local place I can sell to isn't going to want that many. So if I've got more outlets, it's better. I literally just called them up. Obviously, I've been a customer there for a while, so they they recognise me. I'm now the Pleco guy. yeah. Literally, I walked in today, and the fish manager went, it's the bristlenose supplier. Literally, you got only first couple of goes, you might not get much, but once you get regular, and they can see that your fish are healthy and strong and they sell well, and you're selling them bigger fish than they get from a supplier. Because let's be honest, a lot of the fishing shops, panda cories in shops are normally about maybe half an inch long. Yeah, I don't think people understand quite. Yeah, get better quality fish is going to cost more. It is. But I don't get large amounts of money for them. I get £1 per bristlenose, for a standard bristlenose, £1 per grabensis, 3 cherry shrimp to the pound, £2 for a shell dweller. So what that means is the shop can then sell them at basically the same price they would sell the ones they'd get from a supplier. But they know, I don't know whether it's a good thing really, because they know those fish are A, used to the water, B, healthy, C, stronger, more grown up, beefier. So the fish aren't going to die. They know that the fish they've got from me today aren't going to die in the tank tonight. They might eat something else in the tank, but they're not going to die. Actually, while we were there, literally while we were in there, the fish I took in went into the tanks, and while I was stood there, someone bought some of the crepensis and bristlenoses. And looking through the bristlenoses in the tanks, they didn't have very many, but what they did have were mine. I know that sounds weird. How the hell can you tell they're your bristlenoses? Yeah, I just can. Mainly because you don't get bristlenoses in shops that are like that. You don't go, oh, that's a male, that's a female. They're normally like maybe an inch long at most, and skinny usually. Mine will be chunky, fat ones. Literally while I was there, I sold 3 of the cribs and 2 of the bristlenoses that I saw. So I'm going to have to get my finger out and grow some nice big fat bristle noses again because I'm out. I've got lots of bristle noses, they're just not big enough yet. I've probably got about 200 at the moment. But hopefully, I mean, if Ginger can hold on a few more days, once this guy is out of quarantine, he'll go in with Ginger. So we've got 2 super reds. Well, the super red and the longfin super red. And Spotty will go in here with Bertie, who's hiding up somewhere. And she's the sunshine, so they just, because he's common and she's the sunshine, they just produce commons. But you know, they'll be producing 120 a month, maybe 200 a month, and then probably around about 60 of the super reds a month. I might need a bigger rack, but we shall see how we go. I might just need bigger filters for the tanks, let's be honest. As I say, once I've cleared out the last of the cribs, because all the adult cribs are gone now, is literally just the cribs that are in there. So once they've got big enough, we'll sell them on. That'll clear one tank out. Once these guys are out of quarantine, which will be next Thursday, that'll be empty. Next Sunday, these guys should be out of quarantine. And they're going to go in the 10-gallon. Before anyone says, yes, I know, you can't keep 10 Corys in a 10-gallon tank. Watch me. Hey, if I can keep 200 bristle noses in a 10-gallon tub, I can keep 10 Corys in a 10-gallon tank. 10-gallon planted tank with aquasoil substrate, not gravel, so it won't hurt their barbels. Small shrimp tank. Yeah. Yeah, overstocked. I don't know what the recommended stocking level is for cherry shrimp. I'm pretty sure it's not, what's that, 20 litre? Pretty sure it's not 40 shrimp per litre is the recommended stocking level. So yes, next week, going back to the same place, hopefully they'll have somewhere they can take spaz. I've got some big bags because he's not going to fit the standard size fish bag. I mean, even what they qualify as a big fish bag, spaz ain't going in there. So we've got, oh, it's probably covered in water, so yeah. Let's try not to pour all that over the carpet. Soggy receipt. Yeah, so we've got a couple of fish bags like that to put spaz in. We'll double bag in just in case. Secret to breeding cherries is to get enough of them. I feed them daily. I just give them an algae wafer or a couple of bits of shrimp food. Water change 10% a week. Other than that, just kind of leave them to get on with it. Gravel substrate, Java moss, bit of wood. I think that's it. You need enough shrimp in there because, let's be honest, shrimp die fairly regularly for no real obvious reasons. So you need enough of them that they start breeding, and the breeding outnumbers the deaths. And what it kind of hit, you'll get a couple breeding a bit, oh yeah, that's good, and then you'll reach a tipping point and you go, oh crap, where do these shrimp come from? I've got bloody hundreds of them. That's generally what happens with shrimp. You got 6, yeah, so assuming you got males and females, if you get a couple to breed, then the numbers will slowly go up, assuming there's nothing in the tank that's going to eat the shrimplets. So no fish, maybe pygmy cories. I mean, if you can, it might be an idea to get another. It depends what the deal is. If it's like 5 for, like £5 each or 5 for 20 quid, whatever the deal is, because there's normally one of them on, isn't there? So yeah, get another whatever it is, 5 or 6, and you'll have a good start of colony. Within a couple of months they should start breeding. The problem I've got with my blues at the moment is I've only got females now, so I'm going to need to find a couple of blues in the Skittles tank and move them over, and hopefully I've got some blue boys, although they're blue dreams, so they're really dark blue, and these guys are really pale blue, so I don't know. And I've also spotted I've got a couple of blue red rillies. So a red rilly, but instead of the clear or the white bit, it's blue. I've not seen them before. So that might just be a really random. I've got one in there as well that's completely lime green. So what? Where the hell did that come from? Need to do some colouring with the shrimp. There's so many. Get them in the shop and sell them. Obviously none of your buried girls, but just puff out a couple of netfuls and stick them in the shop. I'll soon go. So I could probably take 100 out of there and not notice. This is a bit scary for her. I have to put them online on your site. Yeah, good point. Yeah, exactly. Sell them. And I can just put it. Yeah, so this is what I'm kind of doing. Is in the pygmy cory tank, I've stuck the blacks that I've found. That sounds marginally racist if you take it out of context. And then I'm going to have blues tank, so blacks and blues, and then the Skittles tank will be mostly reds and oranges and yellows and greens and wilds and willies and whatever random colorations pop up in there. Obviously, if I get any purple ones, I'll be moving them to a tank of their own. If I manage purple neos, Swiss quack Priscilla is in America. Not entirely sure where right now. In the process of moving, but I don't. But then Priscilla, you obviously have the best shrimp ever. The shrimp that if you could breed, you would probably be rich. In the big old peacock mantis shrimp. I just realised I've run out of cigarette papers. That's no good. I have to go get some more. Which involves old man having to stand up again, so prepare for sound effects. Oh. Go to run out cigarette papers as well. Oh well, I've got to go out anyway tomorrow, so I'll get some more. Well, I've got to go get backy, so I'll get backy and ciggy papers. Now, so I wasn't sure whether you were still in Denver or whether you'd gone to California or in the process still. Was Denver, wasn't it? Oh, give me credit. My knowledge of American geography is probably better than most Americans' knowledge of English geography. I have actually been asked before if Paris, France was in England. Fort Collins. Yeah. Here's Paris, France in England. Yes, Denver, the biggest city, the Mile High City. I've actually got a couple of model friends in the area. Modeling friends, not models. I don't know actual models. Ain't going to come within 100 yards of me. You're fat and unstylish. Yeah. You look like you need a good meal and some decent clothes. Yes. Yeah, see, I know my stuffs. I might not know a lot about any individual subject, but I know a little bit about a lot of subjects. Chris Waddle. No, not Chris Waddle. Waddle and Hoddle. Oh, geez, that's aging me. I remember when they played for England in midfield. Glenn Hoddle had a perm and Chris Waddle had a mullet. Yeah, it takes a bit of logistics to get there. Yeah, it's not exactly a short journey, is it, Priscilla? Especially with all them fish and tanks to move and the X-Man. Although I bet the X-Man's extremely excited about it. What? No more rain and snow? No more freezing my bits off every winter? What do you mean, Mum? Winter's just going to be slightly colder than the summer? I'll be able to go to the sea whenever. Again, that's something you take for granted in the UK. Yeah. I think the furthest you get away from the sea is about 100 miles. And love it in Cali as a wild outdoor child. I reckon he's going to be a Sasquatch hunter. That's what he's going to do. He's going to be chasing squatches. That's what he's going to be doing when he grows up. Squatching with the X-Man. I'd watch it. I've definitely watched worse. Hell, I've watched my own videos back. Mainly just to check that I haven't made a massive faux pas. Nah, Florida's too hot and humid for me. Too weirdly, I'd be more of a Denver kind of person. Or just outside. I don't do cities very well. Or Wyoming, Idaho. Coeur d'Alene would be quite cool in Idaho. Because then I could go work for Bad Magic Productions. Be the world's worst internet person. Outdoor reptile places, true. Oh dear. Yeah, that could be carnage. Pardon the pun, but Swiss Family Robinson. Yeah, I'm assuming you're familiar with the book. Yeah, I just noticed how to tell when a person's got lots of fish. All that food up there. That's not all of it. Oh well. Yeah, it's funny when people go, so what is the best fish? What do you feed your fish? Depends on the fish and the day. Yeah. See, I'd like somewhere with kind of an English climate, just not as hot in the summer. Somewhere with a maximum temperature of about, I don't know, 20 degrees C. Nothing above that, and low humidity. I can deal with snow and ice. I just can't deal with heat and sun. hence the coloration. We just had like a 3-week heat wave in the UK. Everyone else is all brown and tanned, and then there's me wandering around looking like I just come out of the graveyard. But you know, if you don't like the heat, you don't go in the kitchen. And I've had sunburn one too many times. You know, it's bad when you finished work and you sat there watching some, like, oh, it's donkey's years back, but I was watching some sort of hospital type show. And it was a local one, so it was the Norfolk and Norwich Hospital. And someone went in with sunburn. They were going about how they were going to treat it, because this is very close to 3rd-degree burns. And I'm sat there looking at them. And I looked at myself and I went, mine's worse than that. That's because I've been fishing. And I sat there all day in direct sunlight for like 12 hours in the middle of August in a vest. So that entire shoulder, all around, basically that entire area, is now covered in freckles. And it peeled twice or 3 times, I can't remember. And it peeled once the night I did it. And about 2 days later, it peeled again at work. Then a couple of days after that, it peeled again. But, you know, it's just a bit of sunburn. You just deal with it. Sleep on the other side. And I did that a few times. So it's one of those where you put the sun cream in the tackle box and then you forget to put it on. Or by the time you remember to put it on, it's because you're going, yeah, that feels like I'm starting to burn. I'll put some sun cream on. By the time it's too late, you've already fried yourself. Hey, at least the freckles cover up a lot of the scars, so that's a bonus. Yes, hello, Shelley Dwellies. I know you're trying to figure out your... Oh, you got your breathing tube out, have you? Oh dear. Because when I was catching them earlier, I ended up moving a bunch of the shells about, so they're trying to figure out the new territories. So we're at that point a couple of minutes ago. If anyone's got any questions for me, then feel free while I finish my ciggy. Not only is like my 2 hours up, I think if someone goes on after me, and I also need a wee badly. I did go before, but I'm of a certain age now where we have to go fairly regularly. That age where you wake up in the middle of the night just to go to the loo and then you go back to bed again. And it's always like 2 hours after you go to bed. So laying there, you finally fall asleep, then you wake up because you need to go to the loo again. And then you end up with the black bags under your eyes. And no, my glasses aren't tinted, they just need a clean. I didn't get around to it this morning because I was busy catching fish. Normally I clean them on a Sunday. So if we've got no further questions, let's say same time next week. And if you know anyone else who might enjoy the random wafflings of a fat Englishman, let them know. More the merrier. And thank you for watching. Have a great week. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. And bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. God, is that guy still there? Well, he bloody